Hello watchers and welcome to Disney Dollhouse issue 23. As always, let's have a quick flip through the magazine. So in this issue we've got a whole bunch of parts for a piece of furniture for Winnie the Pooh's basement room that we've not yet structurally put together. I'm assuming that's coming next, I think. I think we start building the base next. So following on is the instructions of how to put it together. Looks a little bit more complicated than what the piano and things are, but we'll see how we fare. Another couple of pages about it. Oh, and the door's actually open and closed, which is nice. And we've also got some wood panelling for the frozen hallway as well. But they don't want us to stick it in the room. They want us to keep it for later. And then the Timeless Classic is Pocahontas. Now it's funny they've put this image in because I did an art project recreating the scene, which did not look as good as that, but I was only probably about 11 at the time, I think, something like that. But yeah, I love Pocahontas movie. Obviously not historically correct in any shape or form, but you know, it's Disney. And then the usual blurb, and then what's coming in next issue, and we get another figure, Olaf, and some more frozen panelling, and the ground floor for Alice's, which is a nice checkered pattern. Let's get on with this week's assembly. So we also get a decorative piece in this issue, which is Winnie the Pooh's flower pot, which according to the image just sits quite nicely on the floor because it is actually quite a large flower pot. Like if I put it next to Pooh Bear, it is quite a large piece, as you can see, whereas the frozen flowers are smaller. Pop Pooh back up there. So we're not actually doing anything on the rooms for this issue. We're just putting some furniture together. So first up, we need to take this piece, which, as I can tell, has no identifying numbers, but it does have a piece that we need to cut out. The entire length of this. So then we're just left with those two pieces. I think it's for obviously for us to get it here in one piece. Not sure if we need that for a little bit later, but we'll see. Oh, yep, we do. Oh yes, we do. We do need this piece. So we need to just trim these square bits off. Not sure if we need the square bits, but we definitely need this decorative bar, as they call it in the magazine. And then we're going to glue this bar to where, on top of where these indentations are. I'm imagining a little bit like that, but I'm just gonna, no, it's quite flat. I was gonna say, if these are quite sticky uppy, these bits where you've cut off, you know, as always, just sand them down a little. Let's just get some glue going. These are wood pieces. These blue bits, they're the same material as what the mirror was from very early on issues. I'll just pop a thin layer of glue on here. Just press that down for a couple of seconds. So next we'll be slotting these pieces into place. Again, there's no numbers or anything on them, so I don't think it matters which way around they go. So with these ones, we're just going to glue along the bottom bit here. Inside the slit, but along the bottom. And then slide it into place. And pushing it all the way in as far as it'll go. And then we'll do the same with the other one. And we're going to take the bottom piece, which has got many holes in, but these bits need to be towards the back. so it'll go that way, slot that way in. And then what we're going to do is glue these bottom pieces just along the edges here. Put a little bit too much glue on that piece, but try and take some of it off. There we go. Push it all the way down to the bottom. There we go. Then we've got this piece, which I think is the back panel, and then shelf B. And then I believe shelf B goes there. But we're just going to put some glue along this long piece. And then pop that in. Again, there's no indication of, you know, front or back, because I don't think it actually matters just yet. So now we're going to slot this into place. So this will actually lay, I should say, in between the panels and then slot in the back. So I need to put quite a bit of glue on all the places, so a bit all the way along here. There. And then also along the side of the shelf and up the side. And then do the same on the other side as well. And then just slot it into place, because these notches will go over there, so that you can't really put this in wrongly. Famous last words. So yeah, it will look like this. So then the next thing we're going to do is the fiddly bit, is using these tiny pins and door handles as well, which are very cute. I'm just going to pop them in that bit so I don't lose them on the cutting mat. And then these are for our doors. Now the only thing about these doors in terms of getting them the right way is to obviously make sure they're not like that, or I don't know what other configuration you could have it as. Probably like that, you know. The two holes need to be, you know, side to side, and then these curved parts are where they will slot in place and open. But the first thing we're going to do is stick the door handles, these tiny door handles, into place. And I'm doing that by just popping some glue on the end and slotting them in the holes. Which is going to be very fiddly. Now this is probably where someone will say, use tweezers. I hate using tweezers. So let's put that there. There we go. Our first one in. And then do the same with the other one. And there we go. Two cute little doors. And then we're going to then take one of these pins. They have given us a spare, well, they've given me a spare one. I don't know if they've given everyone a spare one. I imagine they would have. And then we're just going to put the door in place, pop the pin in there. And then try and line up the doors. Now this is the super fiddly part. Then just pop a bit of glue. In the top there, and then flatten it down. And then we need to stick another pin with a bit below here, underneath. And again, lining up the door, which seemed to be easier this time. I think it's easier once you get one side in. And then just pop a bit of glue in the tiny hole as well to make sure that, you know, the pin doesn't slide out. And then just wipe it off. And we've got one door in. And then do the same with the other door. There we have it. Oh, it's haunted already. But yeah, so now we can easily just open and close these doors. Very nice, very nice. Now the last thing to do on this cabinet is to just pop on these little feet. Oh, wait, that one just wants to fly around. So these tiny, tiny, tiny feet. So again, we just do this by I'm going to put the glue on the little bits that stick up. And they just go in these 4 holes on the bottom. And they just want pushing in quite a bit because they're quite stiff. Right, and there we have it. Now like a Winnie the Pooh cabinet. So now we've got somewhere to put all these honey pots. So as you can see, it does match the mirror. The wood matches the mirror as well. Which is really nice. That is really rather lovely, I have to admit. Now the other thing they want us to do in this issue is put together the panelling piece for the Frozen room. Now, can you see that on camera? Yeah, the white plastic is actually much whiter than the white they've used there. So it's slightly annoying it doesn't match, but at the same time I kind of like it. I don't know what that says, but anyway. So as with the panelling that we had with Mickey's room, it's pretty much the same principle. We've got number 5 on the back, so we know that it's the right way this way. So we have the angled piece to the right. And then the straight piece there. Huh. Interesting. I think because this bit with 2 lines, this bit, this is the dado rail, which normally goes on the top. And then this one with 1 ridge in it is the skirting board that goes on the bottom, but the angles are cut at the wrong end. Let's have a look at the magazine, make sure I'm not going doolally. Yeah, no. I think they've sent us some, yeah. They've sent us the wrong bits, because if you look on this image as well, 2 ridges at the top with an angle there, and then with the skirting board along the bottom as well, with an angle on this side. So, what are we going to do? Because I mean, if I do stick them the way that they want us to, and then just flip the thing, no, because this is the part for the door over there, so you don't want this edge. So I think I'm gonna contact Hachette about this, because I suspect I'm not the only one, but I'm also gonna fudge. And if it goes horribly wrong, I can just order another one. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do... Let me just double check I'm getting this right. Yeah, it definitely should be the other way around. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it even says that, you know, this side really needs to be flush because it's where the door's going to go, the door frame. And the finished piece should look like that, which is the bit with 1 ridge at the bottom and the bit with 2 ridges at the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut off this bit and try and make that side the straight edge. But I don't want to cut off too much because I don't want to make the panel very short. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is glue them into place. Let them have a good proper dry so they're nice and strong. I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on them because I need it to be strong for what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut into them basically, but I need them to be in place for me to do that. Just leave that to dry. And I'm also going to pop that in there as well. Again, that's a nice snug fit. I mean, it tells you the glue, which for the sake of me using the glue up that I've already got out, I'm going to pop it in there just for the sake of it. But by the time you glue this to the wall, that piece ain't going anywhere, so we won't worry too much about that piece. As you can see, my glue is drying up. So what I'm going to do, see, even now I've instinctively put the angle at that side, but the skirting board's at the top and the dado rail's at the bottom. So it needs to be that way up. So what I'm going to do, once this is dry, is I'm going to cut a straight edge on that side and sand it down and make it as perfect as possible. But yeah, that's it for this issue. I did get my spare wallpaper piece. They just sent me a whole magazine out because I ordered another one because I knew I messed up on the wallpapering there. Okay, so now that the glue had dried on the pieces, ignore the glue on my finger there, the dried glue, I've cut down the edges as best I can, as straight as possible, and then sanded them down as well to make them smooth. So on both sides now, they are both straight edges rather than one side at an angle, because it's this side that should be at an angle. But I don't want to cut that into an angle because it's going to make the piece far too short. Because as you can see now, it's going to go in this panel, this section here, in the frozen hallway. So as you can see now, there's quite a big gap, but we're not supposed to put it right up to the edge of the doorway because there will be a door frame. So there should be a gap about that distance for the door frame. If you look on Mickey's side as well, it's the same. So I'm hoping that the long piece that we get in the next issue is going to cover that gap and it not be too obvious. And then it should be just fine. So if you are having that issue, don't worry about it too much. But yeah, I'm still going to contact Hachette and see what they've got to say, just to make them aware that, you know, there might be some other people that have the same issue as well. But being a subscriber, I would imagine they'd just send me out some new parts, the correct parts anyway. But I just wanted to see if I could fudge it, but fudge it well myself. So I'm going to be interested next issue to see how the long piece that we get fits in there, and if it fits in perfectly or not, even though there's that gap. Because technically it's only a little angle that's missing off it, so we'll see. I have checked out the lovely Japanese girl, Nappy 2. She goes by on YouTube, and see if she had the same issue with hers, but no, she didn't. She got the correct part, so it might just be me. I don't know, but I just thought I'd put in this extra segment so you could see what's what. I hope this has helped, and you know, please leave a comment below if you are having any problems or issues, or just want to let me know how your build's going. I don't mind talking about that either. But yeah, I hope you found this video useful and are enjoying this lovely piece of furniture we've just created for Pooh's room. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.